Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are in my kitchen rather than the pasture with the animals because I'm going to take you along on a little recipe experiment. Today I'm going to be making some cornbread, but not your typical cornbread. I am always looking for ways to save money and have an extra supply of food on hand without taking up too much space because I don't have a lot of room here to store extra food. So the other day I went to Walmart and these guys here were on sale for 50 cents a box. So I bought a bunch of them, and what I like to do is kind of experiment with different things I can add to it to make it more interesting and fun and more abundant. In the past, I've used things like canned chili, added cream corn to it, or chipotle peppers. I've blended it up and drizzled it over the top just to kind of give it a little bit different texture and taste than you would typically find with cornbread, and it's really affordable. This is going to be a little bit of a sweeter, kind of cobbler style cornbread. I'm going to be using 2 boxes of cornbread mix. This brown sugar was on sale at my local store right before Thanksgiving for I think $1.44. And then can of condensed milk rather than regular milk. Couple of eggs, complimentary from my ladies. And the main ingredient are these amazing peaches that I got from Costco for $10. They were $9.98, I think. Typically I cook the cornbread in this pan right here. That's not hair, it's a crack, and it is pretty used. But today I'm going to attempt to try cooking it in this cast iron skillet right here. This was my grandmother's, actually. It was passed down to me. I'm going to place it into the oven as the oven preheats and coat it with coconut oil. I'm hoping when I put the cornbread mixture into the cast iron skillet already being warmed, it will create a crusted bottom and sides to the cornbread. I'm cracking up right now. Look at what I have watching me. Thanks for the eggs, ladies. They're on winter break. We're not getting any eggs from them right now. So while that's preheating, I'm going to start mixing up the ingredients for the cornbread. What I like to do, since I'm using 2 boxes, is I just mix 1 box at a time with each of the ingredients that it needs. So I'm probably going to use 2 bowls. I'm going to pull out the pan. It's starting to smoke. Whew. Okay, so now I'm going to add the ingredients. This is the cornbread mix without the peaches in it yet. I have decided that I'm going to actually drop those in after I've set the mixture. It's quite the challenge doing this in front of a camera. Like literally standing in front of the camera here. So you can kind of see that sizzling on the side there. That's exactly was my intention for doing that. Sure would like to get that last little bit. Whenever my grandmother used to cook, she lived through the Great Depression, she would scrape every last drop out of that pan. And it just really made you feel that moment of her growing up as a little girl, watching her mom walk neighbor to neighbor and borrow an onion and borrow, you know, a piece of celery or whatever she needed, some beans to feed them. Just watching a history book. Oh wow, you can see it kind of already cooking there on the side like that. Perfect, that's what I want. Now I'm just gonna take a drizzle, not too much, we don't want to make it uber sweet, and got a lot of sweet ingredients in there right now with the condensed milk and then the peaches. So that's going to cook for about 8 minutes, and I'm going to check it. Typically when I cook it in the red pan that I showed you, it takes quite a while, like 40 plus minutes. But I think in the cast iron skillet and it already being pre-warmed, it's going to cook a lot faster. So we'll check it in 8 minutes. But meanwhile, while that's cooking, I wanted to show you guys my latest coloring that I'm doing. I know in another video, I showed you guys kind of something that I do on my downtime to help me relax and unwind from the screen. This here was the first picture I showed you that I colored out of this coloring book right here, which is called The Night Voyage. I liked this picture because it reminded me of when I was a little girl and I had a little tuxedo cat. And this tree right here was like the apricot tree I used to climb up in and spend long days eating fruit and catching bugs. This here, haven't done much on it, but I found another one with her that I really liked. I didn't read the story. I'm sure it explains why there's presents throughout this, but I liked this one because I started coloring it on Christmas Eve. I kind of thought of like the North Star is also the tree, which I really liked as well. It's just about time I should be checking it, so let's go take a look. All right, so I'm going to just use this long knife here, as this is all I really do when I experiment with these cornbread recipes. See there, you could tell it's still kind of moist, and it looks pretty soft anyway, but I'm going to put it in maybe for another 5 minutes and then I'll check it. Okay, so the top on this is certainly starting to look nice and crispy on the sides there. And let's go ahead and put that in right there. Okay, so we're still getting a little bit of residue on the knife. So at this point, what I'm going to do, because I don't want it to continue browning like that, is I'm going to cover it with some tin foil and put it back in for a little bit longer. Rather than showing you guys every time the timer went off and opened the oven and checked it, I just opted to show you I think a couple times on here that I did it, but it ended up being a total of about 23 minutes. So I've got it sitting here, and what I'm going to do is let it cool. But while it's cooling, I've decided that I want to put a little butter on top that will melt into it while it's cooling. All right, so let's let it cool, and then I will take a piece out and see how it tastes. right, now that it's cooled for a while, let's go ahead and serve up a piece and see how it tastes. Okay, so I'm not one for eating on camera, but one's got to do what one's got to do. Let's see the bite. Peaches in there. Wow. It's so good. You can see that it is just so moist. There's no dryness or anything to it. Oh, the peaches, oh my gosh, so good. Wow. If you guys want to try this recipe, I'll leave a screenshot of everything that I did at the very end. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.